being Guyanese citizens. The PPP is incapable of understanding that it cannot play politics with people's self-esteem, with people's dignity, and with people's lives. And the only way to stop the rot and to save this country from further decay is to bring an end to the PPP's experiment. It is time to bring an end to the PPP's experiment with playing with power. It is time for the PPP to go. It is time for the PPP to throw its Leninist style of governance into the dustbin of history where it belongs. Fellow Guyanese, the PPP has been taxing, spending, and squandering to cover its failure over the past 19 years. People do not mind paying taxes for a safer, healthier, and better educated nation. People do mind paying taxes for underemployment, for undereducation, and for underdevelopment. They mind paying taxes for corruption, for crime, and for mismanagement. The PPP, despite bragging about big budgets, actually has a very weak record of performance. Guyana remains a poor country. 43% of the population is classified as poor, with 29% considered to be living in extreme poverty after 19 years. Guyana, according to the IMF, is ranked 126th in terms of per capita GDP, even lower than some war-torn countries. Productivity is hampered by extensive corruption and lack of economic and employment opportunities. Guyana, according to the UNDP Human Development Report 2010, is ranked 104 out of 169 countries, 62 places behind Barbados, which gained independence in 1966, along with Guyana. Guyana remains an unequal society with a small number of people enjoying an extremely high income and a large number of people enduring an extremely small income. Guyana's crushing cost of living is holding our people back. It is estimated that the cost of living has risen threefold during the PPP's 19 years regime. The PPP economic philosophy is not based on communism. It is not based on capitalism. It is based on cronyism. Cronyism. The PPP has spawned a new economic culture, a culture that is not a meritocracy. The PPP has spawned a new economic culture that is not a meritocracy. It springs from smuggling and trafficking by people who place greed before the public interest. Our partnership, a partnership for national unity, will erect an economy of opportunity with your support. It will be built around strong investment, stable industries, vibrant agro-processing and manufacture, in which more young entrepreneurs have a stake. Mass underemployment, such as we see in Guyana today, has no place in Guyanese society. There must be full employment if ours is to become a society of which everyone feels a part, and if the economy does not fall apart. Thousands of young people pour out of our schools every year, most with inappropriate education or insufficient skills to find fulfilling employment. This is not just a waste of talent, but it is a source, as we discovered a decade ago, it's a source of resentment and the cause of delinquency. Credible official employment data are difficult to obtain in this republic. The population and housing census of 2002 puts the unemployment rate at 11.7%, but we feel it is double that. The main reason for this country's high unemployment is the low rate of growth of the economy, and this itself is a product of the absence of a strategic vision and a comprehensive economic policy on the part of the PPP. That party cynically ignores its own comprehensive national development strategy while it pursues capricious commercial hunches. Economic transformation will come only from a dynamic economy based on a new social contract, a contract which represents a partnership between employer and employee, a contract between capital and labor, and between the public and private sector. Guyanese, we believe in a community that works together for a common cause. Our watchwords will be cooperation, collaboration, and concord. Our mission is rooted in the understanding that the individual citizen performs best in a strong and safe community of people who share common values. Our partnership has as its task the application of those same values to erase the contrived dividing lines between ethnic groups, between hinterland and coastland. Our objective is to break down the barriers of social prejudice. Our objective is to break up the bastions of bigotry in this country. Our objective is to break out of past thinking, the old politics. Our objective is to break through with a new vision for Guyana's future, a vision that pursues a common cause in the changing times of the new millennium. Education will be the preoccupation of the Partnerships Administration. Guyana will once again become an education nation that it used to be. We will not tolerate children being sent into ramshackle schools. We will not tolerate schools without running water, without libraries, without furniture. We will not tolerate a school system with 1,200 unqualified and untrained teachers. And I don't care how many they graduated yesterday. We still have 1,200 unqualified and untrained teachers in the system. And unqualified means unqualified. Today's new society must involve the pursuit of a common cause. If the PPP government cannot understand what that common cause is, if they cannot understand the importance of education, it is time for us to get a government that does. Our partnership is committed to improving public security and human safety. The PPP has thrown out of the window the UK Finance Security Sector Reform Action Plan. It has ignored its own National Drug Strategy Master Plan. It has sidelined the report of the Discipline Forces Commission. That is why we have one armed robbery every 12 hours in this country. The partnership will bring a new approach that not only suppresses crime, but also uproots the causes of crime in our country. Our politics will be different from the politics of the PPP. We shall pursue the politics of consensus, the politics of cooperation, working together for a common cause. Our people are tired of the politician who pretends to know everything about the environment. We're tired of the man who knows everything about the economy. We're tired of promises of consultation at the height of a crisis, which are quickly abandoned as soon as the crisis passes. We should have, at the core of our commitment, a new covenant between citizen and government. We believe passionately that all Guyanese are entitled to the benefits of a good life in the country of their birth. the foundation for such a life rests on a sound education for all, satisfactory employment, economic opportunity, individual equality, political empowerment, a sustainable environment, good governance, national unity, public security, and social protection for the vulnerable, for the young and the very old. Our partnership will win because ours is a partnership that is committed to the ideal of a good life. Voters at the next election will have had this PPP administration on their backs for 19 years. They will have seen how the PPP has become petrified, how it has become a monument. They have seen how it has become a museum of obsolete democratic centralism, a museum of discredited cronyism and personality cultism. They have seen how communism of its founders has putrefied into the cronyism of its heirs and successors. A party that does not change dies, and the PPP is dying. Our nation cannot continue teetering interminably on the brink of catastrophe. It cannot continue staggering from crisis to crisis, begging around the world. It cannot continue sliding relentlessly into social decadence. The PPP boasts of change. The PPP boasts not of change, but of continuity. Continuity of what? Continuity of corruption? Continuity of crime? Continuity of cronyism? Our partnership is a living movement, not a monument. Our partnership represents change, and for our young people, a good life, a bright future. Fellow Guyanese, a partnership for national unity represents the national interests. We are the mainstream voice in politics today. We are the face of the future. We are on the side of the majority. The old politics is dying, and with it, the PPP. The new politics of inclusionary democracy, something enshrined in our Constitution, inclusionary democracy, is moving across the regions, moving across political boundaries, moving across ethnic barriers, moving across the generation gap. The new politics of inclusionary democracy is moving onto the ground occupied by the Partnership for National Unity, the APNU. Tonight, I iterate the commitment of the APNU to give all Guyanese a good life. Come with us as compatriots as we work together in the common cause to ensure that our children can enjoy a great future. God bless you, God bless our children, and may God bless Guyana. Thank you.